Picture this, a land where tango pulses through the streets, where gauchos gallop across endless Pampas, and where the Andes loom like silent giants over a nation that's as vibrant as it is vast. Argentina, a South American titan, stretches from subtropical jungles to the icy edges of Patagonia. A place where history, culture, and nature collide in a symphony of passion and resilience. This is a country that doesn't just exist. It demands to be felt, tasted, and explored. Let's dive into the soul of Argentina, a journey through its landscapes, its people, its struggles, and its triumphs, in a sprawling tale that captures the essence of a nation that refuses to be tamed. Argentina's geography is a love letter to diversity. Spanning over 2.78 million square kilometers, it's the 8th largest country in the world, dwarfing many of its neighbors. To the north, the humid, verdant provinces of Misiones and Corrientes cradle the Iguazu Falls, a jaw-dropping cascade of 275 waterfalls that make Niagara look like a trickle. The falls, shared with Brazil, are a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and standing before them feels like witnessing the Earth's heartbeat. Mist rises, rainbows dance, and the roar of water drowns out everything but awe. Venture south, and you're in Patagonia, where the wind howls across desolate steppes, and glaciers like Perito Moreno calve into turquoise lakes with a thunderous crack. The Andes, running like a spine along Argentina's western edge, offer peaks like Aconcagua, the southern hemisphere's highest at 6,960 meters, drawing climbers from across the globe. Between these extremes lie the fertile Pampas, the agricultural heartland where cattle graze and soybeans thrive, fueling Argentina's economy. The coastline, stretching 4,989 kilometers along the Atlantic, offers beaches like Mar del Plata, where summer crowds soak up the sun, and remote shores where penguins waddle in colonies that stretch to the horizon. But Argentina's land isn't just scenery, it's a character in its story. The Pampas shape the gaucho, Argentina's iconic cowboy, whose leather boots and sharp faison knife are as much a symbol of national pride as the tango. These plains were once home to indigenous groups like the Mapuche and Tehuelche, who roamed freely before European settlers arrived. The Andes, meanwhile, have long been a barrier and a refuge, shielding Argentina from Chile's influence while fostering isolated communities with unique traditions. Even the climate tells a story. Buenos Aires swelters in summer, hitting 35 degrees Celsius, while Ushuaia, the world's southernmost city, shivers near 0 degrees Celsius even in January. This diversity of terrain and climate has forged a nation of contrasts, where every region feels like a different world. The story of Argentina's people begins long before Columbus. Indigenous groups, Mapuche, Guarani, Diaguita, and others, thrived for millennia, cultivating crops, crafting pottery, and navigating rivers. Their legacy endures in place names like Tucumán, and in the Guarani language still spoken in parts of the Northeast. European colonization, starting in the 16th century, reshaped this world. Spanish settlers, led by figures like Juan de Garay, founded Buenos Aires in 1580, though it struggled initially against indigenous resistance and harsh conditions. By the 19th century, waves of immigrants, mostly Italian and Spanish but also German, Welsh, and Jewish, poured in, turning Argentina into a melting pot. Today, 97% of Argentines claim European descent, a demographic shaped by immigration and, tragically, the marginalization of indigenous populations, who now make up about 2.4% of the 46 million-strong population. Buenos Aires, the capital, is Argentina's beating heart. With 15 million people in its metropolitan area, it's a city that never sleeps. Walk through San Telmo's cobblestone streets and you'll hear tango drifting from a cafe, see street artists sketching Evita's face, and smell choripan grilling on a corner. The city's architecture blends Parisian elegance with Latin flair. Think grand boulevards, Belle Epoque buildings, and the iconic obelisk piercing the sky. Yet Buenos Aires is more than charm, it's a microcosm of Argentina's highs and lows. Protests often clog its streets, a testament to a politically engaged populace unafraid to demand change. From the Casa Rosada, the pink presidential palace, leaders have shaped a nation that's seen everything from military dictatorships to democratic rebirths. Argentina's history is a roller coaster of ambition and upheaval. Independence from Spain in 1816 marked the start of a turbulent journey. The 19th century saw civil wars between federalists, who wanted regional autonomy, and Unitarians, who favored centralized power in Buenos Aires. By the late 1800s, Argentina was a global powerhouse, its beef and grain exports feeding Europe's industrial boom. The Golden Age from 1880 to 1914 saw Buenos Aires dubbed the Paris of South America, with railways, theaters, and wealth pouring in. But prosperity didn't erase inequality. The 20th century brought political instability, coups, populist movements, and the rise of Juan Domingo Peron and his wife, Evita Peron, whose legacy still divides the nation. Peron's justicialist party championed workers' rights but flirted with authoritarianism. Evita, adored by the poor, became a global icon, her life immortalized in musicals and murals. The 1970s and 80s were darker, with the military dictatorship's dirty war leaving 30,000 disappeared. Democracy returned in 1983, but economic crises, including the 2001 default and hyperinflation spells, have tested Argentina's resilience. Economically, Argentina is a paradox. It's one of Latin America's largest economies with a GDP of roughly $600 billion, driven by agriculture, manufacturing, and tech. Soybeans, beef, and wine, hello Malbec, are global exports, with brands like Mendoza's Catina Zapata winning international acclaim. Yet inflation, hovering around 40% annually in recent years, and a volatile peso haunt everyday life. A single US dollar can fetch over 1,000 pesos on the black market, a stark contrast to official rates. This economic roller coaster shapes daily routines. Argentines are masters at adapting, whether bartering, investing in crypto, or stashing dollars under mattresses. The middle class, once robust, has shrunk, with poverty rates climbing to 40% by 2024. Still, innovation thrives. Buenos Aires' tech scene, dubbed Silicon Pampa, birthed unicorns like Mercado Libre, Latin America's Amazon. Culture is, well, Argentina's lifeblood. Tango, which was born in Buenos Aires' working-class barrios, is more than just a dance. It's actually a philosophy of longing and connection. If you ever watch a milonga, you'll see couples move with this kind of precision that's both sensual and somber, all while bandoneons wail tales of lost love. Literature, too, is considered a national treasure. Jorge Luis Borges, who's really Argentina's literary giant, wove these labyrinthine stories that totally redefined storytelling, while contemporary authors like Mariana Enriquez blend gothic horror with social commentary. Soccer is, honestly, a religion here. Lionel Messi, born in Rosario, is like a demigod, and his 2022 World Cup win sparked nationwide euphoria. Every weekend stadiums like La Bombonera throb with fans chanting for Boca Juniors or River Plate, those rivals in a derby that just stops the nation. Food is, honestly, another love language here. Asado, which is kind of a barbecue ritual, brings families together over sizzling cuts of beef, chorizo, and morcilla, all paired with chimichurri and, of course, a glass of Malbec. Empanadas, stuffed with everything from spicy beef to sweet corn, actually vary by region. Saltas are baked and tucumans are fried. Dulce de leche, a caramel-like spread, gets slathered on everything from toast to alfajores, those addictive cookie sandwiches. Mate, a bitter herbal tea sipped from a gourd, is like a social glue. Pass it around and, well, your family. Argentina's cuisine really reflects its immigrant roots. Italian pastas, Spanish tortillas, and even Welsh tea houses in Patagonia's Chubut province. Politically, Argentina is a crucible. The 2023 election of Javier Milei, a libertarian economist, really shook the establishment. Brandishing a chainsaw to symbolize cutting government spending, Milei promised to tame inflation and shrink bureaucracy. His policies, including deregulation and austerity, have sparked both hope and protests. Argentina's politics are never quiet. Unions, students, and indigenous groups regularly march, their voices echoing from Buenos Aires to remote Jujuy. The memory of the dirty war lingers, with groups like the Mothers of Plaza de Mayo still seeking justice for the disappeared. This activism reflects a nation that, despite economic hardship, just refuses to be silenced. Nature and adventure, honestly, they beckon travelers. Patagonia's Los Glaciares National Park, with its ice fields and trekking trails, is a haven for adventurers. Bariloche, nestled in the Andes, offers skiing in winter and hiking in summer, its alpine vibe earning it the nickname Little Switzerland. The Northwest's Quebrada de Humahuaca, a UNESCO site, dazzles with rainbow-hued mountains and ancient ruins. Wildlife thrives too. Peninsula Valdez is a marine paradise, where orcas hunt seals and southern right whales breach offshore. For the daring, Tierra del Fuego's rugged trails lead to the end of the world, where Antarctica feels almost within reach. Argentina's challenges are as vast as its landscapes. Inequality persists, with shanty towns ringing Buenos Aires even as skyscrapers rise. Indigenous communities like the Com and Wichi face land disputes and poverty, their voices often drowned out. Climate change threatens too. Droughts hit the Pampas while melting glaciers imperil Patagonia's ecosystems. Yet Argentines are nothing if not resilient. Community kitchens feed the hungry, artists turn hardship into poetry, and startups innovate against the odds. To know Argentina is to embrace its contradictions. It's a nation of fiery protests and tender tangos, of gaucho pride and urban grit, of soaring peaks and crashing economies. It's a place where history weighs heavy, but hope burns brighter. From the thundering Iguazú Falls to the wind-swept cliffs of Ushuaia, Argentina doesn't just invite you, it challenges you to feel its pulse, to dance its rhythm, and to join its untamed spirit. This is Argentina, a country that lives fiercely, loves deeply, and never stops dreaming.